big blow for the U.S. while the hype continues to build for Canada. And where's Wondo in this week's Castrol Weekly Top 20? Next on The Daily. Hey everyone, welcome to The Daily here on MLSsoccer.com. It is Wednesday. Josh Weisenhunt joined here by Simon Borg. And of course, big news coming out of the U.S. national team camp yesterday as they continue to prepare for their pivotal World Cup qualifier, the first of two against Antigua and Barbuda on Friday. It's bad news for Jurgen Klinsmann and his crew. 24 players called in, but he'll only have 22 at his disposal as of right now. Landon, Donovan, and Brek, Shea both ruled out for Friday.
Josh, this is a head scratcher. There's no other way to put it because here we have someone has a black eye in this because it's either the club teams that sent the guys to national team camp maybe without doing enough diligence. There's either the players maybe not being upfront about their injury and still making a trip. Landon Donovan has to make now 2 cross-country trips. He's going back to LA. Or the U.S. national team, doctor, why do you call him in maybe if you have certain information about him? So this scenario just doesn't look good on anyone. Someone messed up here. But look, we didn't, I think, put a lot of stock into Donovan and Shea going into these qualifiers. We knew there were problems. But I think a guy like Herculez Gomez can play out right. Graham Zusi, I think, is the #1 option to play out right instead of Donovan. Brek, Shea, I think let's bring in DeMarcus Beasley for him.
Well, that was the main talking point yesterday, of course, the controversy surrounding the fact that Klinsmann has players, alternates at his disposal, Chris Wondolowski, Terrence Boyd, and as of right now has chosen not to name those replacements, of course, heading into Friday.
But I don't think they are direct replacements for Donovan and Shea. I think a guy like Beasley maybe is more useful to replace Shea, and Donovan, I think they're replacements within the team. So Wondo and Boyd are just more center forwards, and I think you're already set with what you got.
Well, it'll be certainly interesting to watch to see, of course, if an additional player or two is brought in, and of course how the U.S. deals with this building pressure heading into this first qualifier on Friday. That one, U.S. versus Antigua and Barbuda, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it on beIN Sport, and of course you can catch all the coverage leading up in a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. Well, north of the border, Simon, the mood is decidedly different. Of course, Canada preparing for the first of their 2 must-win qualifiers coming up 7:30 p.m. against Cuba. And for the first time in really a while this late in the game, the Canadians have destiny in their own hands.
Yeah, technically they're in with a shot, Josh, but I think a lot of outside observers say, probably they don't have a chance here, really. But if you look at the setup of these last 2 games in the group, you have Canada hosting Cuba first. They get a win there. It's a must-win there, and a lot of goals needed. Then they go to Honduras, where a draw would be enough. When you look at it that way, then you see, they actually do have a chance, and you don't laugh so much when you see a tweet like Dwayne De Rosario's this morning saying, hey, I'll be ready for the next round of qualifying. They could actually be there.
Well, it's good to see the confidence, of course, coming from them. And midfielder Terry Dunfield saying that he would be lying if he said his mind wasn't drifting away at night, of course, even leading up to this camp, thinking about the possibilities for Canada, because really it's the last shot for guys like him, Ante Jazic, Kevin McKenna, and of course De Rosario to really make it to the World Cup. So we'll see how that one develops. But Canada face Cuba 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Friday. You can catch all the coverage on that one on MLSsoccer.com. Well, he might not be a part of this current U.S. men's national team camp, but consolation for Chris Wondolowski, of course, he tops this week's Castrol Weekly Top 20. No surprise really there, Simon.
This is Wondolowski's season, Josh. October comes around, the guy just scores goals. I don't know if it's the long sleeve feel more comfortable for him, but he's tops. He had the hat trick over the weekend. He's tops in the Castrol Index. He's followed by some other guys who scored goals and a goalkeeper. We're looking at Fabian Espindola. He scored 2 against LA. You have Freddie Montero, scored against Portland. Bill Hamid had a lot of work to do against Toronto, and then CJ Sapong scoring against Columbus.
Yep, in the top 5 for the year, of course, Robbie Keane, one of the guys who didn't make the top 5 for the week, but he did have a great finish against Real Salt Lake to open the scoring for LA Galaxy. He now moves ahead of Alan Gordon into that top spot for the year. Gordon moves to second, and of course he's followed by Wondo, Saborio, and rounding out the top 5, the 3rd member of that San Jose Earthquakes forward trio, Steven Lenhart. You can catch the full top 20 if you head over to MLSsoccer.com, and also while you're on the site, be sure to check out the March to the Match podcast today. The guys on the West Coast breaking down, of course, the U.S. chances as they get ready for Friday, and also make sure to take a look at a new and improved anatomy of a goal, all new graphics, and of course we'll be looking at a brand new build up on that one here this week. That does it for us here on The Daily. We will talk to you guys tomorrow.